That makes me want to think I can get out from like there. Yeah.
It moves slightly.
I don't really know what it looks like.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's gonna be kind of.
Why didn't I flip? You know what I'm saying? If you would have flipped.
Oh, huh. Right.
But then that's, what is that? Give him a shot. If I was just being smart, you would jump, leave you straight. Where are you at?
I know where it is.
You know. Uh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you lighter real quick?
Probably, yeah.
Alright. Yeah, it's gonna turn off.
But shit, that's what I'm saying. We still gotta.
Too high? Do we need to be tighter? This is the tightest.
Yeah. Am I already in there? I'm saying. I don't think I can see you in the, are you in there? What you think? Scoop?
Yeah, we gotta go live.
Yeah.
Can we please put our phones on vibrate?
Sports Heads was good with you. Stephen Matthews here, my man.
Earl the Grant, how you doing out there?
It's been a while since we got at you, so we wanted to come discuss with you guys today. The playoffs coming up, exciting time, when you say?
This is what we've been waiting for all year. Fantasy football is over, so this is all we can really focus on. The wild card round. Let's get right into it.
Big round.
Let's start off in Lambeau, Green Bay and San Fran. Who you got in that game?
I'm taking San Francisco, but I have to say I'm a little skeptical of how this game is going to play out. But I think San Francisco should eke it out. But it being in Green Bay, I think Green Bay is going to make it a tough game. What you think?
You know, it's Lambeau Field's always a tough place to go get a win, regular season or playoffs. But you know, both teams kind of feel like they're getting healthy at the right time. A-Rod's back there with the Packers heading out the offense,
Right.
and then obviously, you know, we don't. I mean, if Vernon Davis is healthy, the emergence of Michael Crabtree into the lineup, providing a deep threat for the ground and pound.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a lot for. You know, this is a average at best.
Oh
Green
yeah,
Bay
when it comes down
defense that we're
to
dealing
it, that's why I can't really pick Green Bay to win this game, even though I kind of want to. San Fran should pull it off overall because Green Bay's D is just leaky, you know, all over the place. So, with that being said, you know, it sounds like we're both in agreement.
Yeah,
there.
it just.
San Fran's gonna
I
move
mean,
on.
when's the last time San Fran lost? I can't get off that now. Why would I?
Right.
Why would I stop now?
Right. Right.
So let's go on to the. This is a Chiefs fans really feel like they got something to prove in the first round.
So this game is interesting. So the way it's going to play out with this is if San Diego loses to Cincinnati, which will probably happen, this game, the Indianapolis-Kansas City game, is going to see the winner is going to see Denver the next week. So
so Bronco fans have an extra interest, a little interest in this matchup here.
Most definitely.
So we know 2 weeks ago the Colts flew out to Arrowhead and they dominated the Chiefs game from start to finish. That was a huge upset.
And that wasn't a surprise to me one bit. You know, I've been on record saying that I don't think Kansas City's really built for this playoff run. So just like Indianapolis did them just a couple weeks ago, I'm going to say the same thing's going to happen. I'm taking Indy at home to roll.
As much appreciation and credit I have for the Kansas City Chiefs, they put together a very nice season.
Yeah.
They made the AFC West the most competitive division in football,
Right.
along with the Chargers. However, when I look at Indianapolis, this is what it comes down to. They beat San Francisco. They beat Seattle.
Yeah.
They beat the Denver Broncos. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
And when as good as Peyton Manning is and Tom Brady is here in the AFC here, that's an impressive resume for the Indianapolis Colts. And this is a team.
Andrew Luck's a special player, bro.
Well, this is a team that's in the second round. This is their second time in the playoffs. Luck's got them back in the playoffs.
Exactly.
This time's at home. You got to give me a reason to not take Indy right now.
So we're looking at Denver, Indy, second round. The way I hope it plays out. So the next game we got going is New Orleans and Philly. That's going to be a pretty interesting game. I think game being in Philly, I would have to say that it should be a pretty close game. New Orleans doesn't seem to play that good on the road, but I can't see Drew Brees blowing this game. I think he'll find a way to get it done.
We know, Phil, first of all, nobody's really scared to try to take their shots against the Philadelphia Eagles secondary. That's first and foremost. Is I don't know how it's the New Orleans Saints defense. I don't know how they do it, but they have found ways to really keep the offense in games when the offense has been slow. Maybe this is a better defense than I want to give it credit for, but at the end of the day, I can't say Nick Foles in his first playoff game is going to take out Breeze and company.
Yeah, I Philly overall, when they played in bigger games this year, besides the Chicago game, that game was kind of out of hand. But Philly they've shown that they can slow down on the offense, and I just don't think that Nick Foles is going to make enough plays. I think Drew Brees should be able to make more plays.
So let me ask you this: when you look at Drew Brees, and they came out of the NFC South there, Cam Newton and company stole the division at the end of the year.
Right.
Okay, so when you look at that, and then when you look at the division of the NFC East as a whole, what does it mean for Philadelphia Eagles to be the champions of this division? If this is the best team in the division.
This division isn't very good. You got to see it from the vantage point of I'm a Bronco fan. We beat every team in that division handily. We put up 50, I think we averaged 50, 40 in the mid 40s against that division. They're not very good. So I think the Saints should be now. They don't play that good on the road. So I feel like they'll shoot themselves in the foot some possessions and things. Keep making it a closer game than it has to be, but they'll win going away with it.
So another game. AFC West. Strong showing, 3 teams.
Right, how about that?
The San Diego Chargers, they're gonna they're gonna go down to Cincinnati, to Cincinnati rather.
Yeah, that's
the Bengals took the AFC North by the throat and really put their print on the division. What's San Diego thinking going into this game?
This is another game that I'll be watching closely just for the perspective of who the Broncos will play. But you got to think that Cincinnati played San Diego earlier this season in San Diego, beat them by a touchdown. So that San Diego's going to think they could play with Cincy, obviously. So, I think they'll go give it their best try, probably lose at the end.
I think San Diego loses because we're going to see, as far as the pace of the game, the style of the game, it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a game where you got to rely on your defense.
Yeah.
And I would just say that this Cincinnati is a team. I don't think they got enough credit this year for how well they've played at home, how they've dominated at home. A lot of people want to talk about the Seahawks' home field advantage, but they've just been. They've been dominant at home. And Phillip Rivers, I just don't think they have enough to get it done this game. I think that's an easy one for me.
Well, yeah. San Diego, I don't think people are giving them enough credit. I think they're a pretty good team. They're a lot better than their record will show. But Cincy, like you said, they actually have an underrated defense, I think, and I think they'll be able to make some plays. Phillip Rivers, that's kind of tough terrain, having to go all the way to Cincy, him being in San Diego and all. So I think. I think it'll be another tight game. I think all these games got a chance to be real competitive. That's what I'm excited about this wild card weekend. It's going to be wild, but I think that in that game, for instance, that I'm taking Andy Dalton and them to get it done.
Is that it? Did we get them all? Okay. All right. Super Bowl.
You want to do Super Bowl? Yeah.
Super Bowl prediction. So we just come in with another intro.
Yeah. Sports Heads was good. We're at you right now. We want to talk about our playoff predictions overall. We're going to tell you who we think is going to win the Super Bowl. So, start over.
Yeah, we don't got to move them. We just start over. All right.
Sports Heads was good. This is Steve Matthews.
Earl the Grand, how you doing out there? Football season is in full effect.
Yes, and so with it being down to the crunch time, the last final 12 teams, we're gonna give you our Super Bowl predictions the whole way out. See how it rocks out.
Well, let's start in the NFC. We'll start in the NFC.
Yeah, all right.
And this is a team that I kind of got aboard their train 7 weeks ago. It's the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm not getting off of this train right here. This is a team, may I remind you, they played the Super Bowl last season.
Right.
The season prior to that, they were in the NFC championship game. This is a dangerous number 6 seed. Their passing game, everybody's healthy. Alden Brooks seems to be figuring things out. The defense is playing well. I think that injury to Pat Willis let the spotlight be on Navarro Bowman.
Oh, he's a dog.
I don't know how. Him and Willis. I don't know how you can get much better than that as far as your inside linebackers. Kaepernick, he's gonna have to make plays in all the games that they play. But I think Frank Gore and the offensive line, the tight ends, the running backs, they solidified that they can run the ball against anybody. And you combine that with the defense, and you talk about being able to really stretch teams out defensively. You got two number one receivers. You got Vernon Davis and a dynamic playmaker, tight end, especially in the playoffs. As Green Bay, especially in the playoffs. Where I can't get off the 49ers.
I mean, I don't knock that pick. They're a dangerous wild card team, and we've seen this time and time again throughout the playoffs in history. Recent history at that the wild card team gets hot at the right time, and then they make that run.
Like the Baltimore Ravens did.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you're saying with San Francisco, they weren't healthy. At the beginning of the season, they finally started getting guys back like Crabtree, Manningham, getting them healthy, and it's starting to look that way. But I think that they get stopped in the second round by a team. My Super Bowl pick out of the NFC, Carolina Panthers. I, for one, have always been a big believer in Cam Newton since he busted on the scene in Auburn.
That makes two of them.
He is I always said when he got to the league, I figured he'd be one of the premier quarterbacks, and I think this is his time to prove it. I personally think he's better than Colin Kaepernick.
I mean, his performance against the Saints.
Yeah.
This is a guy who got the ball back with 58 seconds. He had no timeouts. And he threw 3 straight complete passes, and the third pass was for a touchdown.
Cam Newton is starting to, find his zone. I've seen him have a couple late game drives to win them games. He keeps them. Carolina is going to go where Cam Newton goes, and he wants to take him to the land. I think he can do it. I just look at this. Their whole team. They have a well balanced. They're built just like San Francisco to me, but they'll have the home field advantage if they match up in that next round.
Carolina, it was they were close to, but I went with San Francisco because they've been hot. To me, if it's not San Francisco, it's going to be Carolina. And this is no disrespect to the Seahawks, but I know for me, they don't do enough for me offensively.
But what happened to nobody's going to beat Seattle in Seattle? You don't think that's going to hold true?
Well, the thing is, the 49ers and Carolina Panthers, each team has a dose of the type of game that kind of makes Seattle queasy. They don't, it's kind of like, being in a fight with yourself.
Right.
Because, the plays that you're getting beat on is the type of stuff that you do.
Right.
You're taking punches from yourself. And your offense being the type of offense that I can't count on for 21 points a game. Sometimes,
we're in agreement about the way Seattle runs things. They just don't have their whole starting core of receivers. I don't think any of them would even see the field on the Denver Bronco team, for instance. They just don't. They have a bunch of 3s and 4s at receiver. So to me, anything Russell Wilson makes happen in the past is really off the strength of him. And I just can't see them, beating a Carolina or San Francisco to get to the Super Bowl, whether it's in Seattle or not.
And in this game, when we talk about these 3 teams, both teams play defense at an extraordinary level against the run, against the pass. Both teams run the ball well. So then we got to go down to who's going to make the plays under center.
Right.
And, I feel like Kaepernick is going to have a lot of help. He's going to have a lot of help. They'll really keep defenses honest, and I think Kaepernick's going to have the opportunity to make plays when they come available.
I mean, Kaepernick, he showed it. He got him to the Super Bowl last year. He made a lot of plays in the playoffs. But I don't know. I'm riding Cam. I think Cam's going to show that he was built for this. I think, and then, like I said, if they match up, it'll be in Carolina. So that's really the reason why I'm taking him.
So let's move on to the AFC.
Right.
This is a unanimous decision right here.
Right. Of course, this is near and dear to me.
Nation. To me, this is easy. I mean, offensively, this was the most prolific passing offense ever in the history of football.
Yeah.
And you did it with a guy who's 38 years old.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I don't think. I mean, Cincinnati is probably the most stout defense in the AFC.
That will probably come in. We'll probably match up with if we see him. Yeah. New England. I mean, you still kind of have to. with the whole Tom Brady thing, you still kind of have to be a little wary of them. But I feel like since he might take them out,
this is the time where you're a guy who said they're gonna need the Gronk. Is this?
Yeah.
Are these the times where they're gonna really miss Gronkowski's production in offense?
Yeah, that's what I see. At this point in time, eventually teams are going to be able to key in on their receivers. I mean, they're pretty good, and Tom Brady can make things happen with them. But eventually, I figure Denver's going to eventually put a game together or two on defense and play good. They play, pretty bad consistently towards the end of the season, but they don't have that. Not everybody was healthy.
What about the Bengals? Are they going to be the team that takes the Broncos out the mix for the playoffs? I think that would be the most stiff competition that Denver can face.
See, my thing with the Bengals is they somewhat remind me of the Ravens of last year, where they have a secondary who can bottle up receivers, and they have playmakers all over the secondary. If they can get a pass rush to you, they can be a factor. They have A.J. Green on offense. And Dalton, even though, he's played bad, he threw a lot of picks. He threw, 4 picks last week. He's just the guy I could see having a Flacco, one good game like he always tries to do. So he'd be someone I'd be a little nervous of Denver playing. But overall, Peyton should get the job done, dude. I mean,
a game in Denver, and the main problem with Andy Dalton is you never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
Is it going to be 280 yards and 3 touchdowns? That's generally going to be there, but how many turnovers? We're talking interceptions and fumbles.
Exactly.
How many turnovers is this guy going to have?
Peyton's going to thrive off of that type of
and
stuff.
And when you put the ball in Peyton Manning's hands, good things have happened all year. I think offensively, and like you said, you really only need a couple good games from the defense. The defense plays 2 good games. I think they're going to get there. I don't really see. Now one team that you would still have to be cautious of is obviously the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't see Kansas City as a contender.
No, and and our most realistic matchup for the first game is probably going to be Indianapolis, because I think since he's going to take care of business and knock off San Diego.
What team in the AFC, looking at the Broncos, what team makes you the most uncomfortable in the AFC as we look at the playoff?
Well, and that's the thing where I thought about it like that, but us being in Denver, I'm leaning more towards a team like the Colts or the Bengals. I think that if the Patriots came out here, I think we'd be able to handle them. They still are banged up on defense. They're missing pieces on offense. And if Tom Brady, as great as he is, I think Peyton Manning would beat him this last game.
No disrespect to the Patriots, but the patchwork job that they've done on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, I think that teams that are healthy and rolling right now this time of year, they're going to be hard to take.
The Colts, Andrew Luck is special, man. I think he's gonna make things interesting, and I think I would love to see a matchup with him and Peyton Manning again in the second round.
Well, sports fans, Earl Grant here. I gave you my Super Bowl prediction. I have Denver Broncos and San Francisco 49ers. What's your prediction for the people?
Stephen Matthews. I'm taking it Broncos, Panthers. Broncos over Panthers, in fact.
Sports fans, thank you for hanging out with the Sports Heads. It's Real Talk with the Sports Heads. I'm Earl Grant.
Stephen Matthews.
And we're out of here.